Just going back to our game with Cal, it was a really good game and a heck of a comeback by our guys. To go eight straight games and finish that run with a long road trip, long flight, bus ride, all those things, coast to coast, and to come back after two tough one possession losses, I think says a lot about the fight in this staff and this team. I'm proud of the guys for being resilient, and we are getting better and improving, and you can see that in a lot of areas. Really proud of the guys and the staff, for just showing and showcasing our perseverance, our toughness, and our togetherness. And Cal's a good football team. If they had a kicker, they'd probably won three more games. They have a really good defense. They lead the conference in turnover margin and scoring defense. So to win this game on the road was a heck of a game. And the passion and will to win of our players in the fourth quarter was really a beautiful thing to see. And some guys stepped up, in that quarter. And it's really cool when you see a captain and some of your older players make some critical plays to help you win a game. I saw that with Davin Van taking his pass rush to another level with two sacks in the fourth quarter. Bishop Fitzgerald, senior safety, making some key plays, some pass breakups on critical downs. Can't say enough about CJ Bailey and his improvement, how he's grown not just as a player, but as a leader, finding chemistry with his guys. You see it with different players and growth with him and Justin, Jolie, and KC, Noah, Dakari, giving guys chances to make plays down the field with balls that the defense can't make plays on. And Wesley Grimes made a really nice play. Keenan and Terrell continue to improve. And then obviously Hollywood Smothers, has been explosive for us, catching the football and running after the catch. But you just see CJ's confidence growing, and I like how he's giving his guys a chance to make plays. He's protecting the ball better. And we played complementary football in that fourth quarter, and we've played really well in the fourth quarter this year, with the exception of the end of the Wake game. I think our guys have really done a good job, and now obviously from an improvement standpoint, something we need to do better at the beginning of games. But I think the bye week came at a good time. We were able to get some needed rest, get healthier for this 4-game span that we have in November, and dive into ourselves from a critical standpoint and self-scout, with tendencies, breaking down schemes, looking at players and what they're doing well, what they're not doing well, communicating those things in a productive way to our guys, and looking at things we can do better, things that we need to spend more time on, things that we need to improve, tendencies and how we can break them. It was a good blend of recovery time for the guys physically, so that they could, get fresh, but also reset mentally, and then, getting on the field and in the film room so they can grow, and putting together a plan for them to do so, not just in fundamentals, but with scheme for us as coaches. In that game, I thought the conversion downs were the difference. We won the third down battle, fourth down battle on both sides of the football. We were able to stay on the field in a lot of cases on third down offensively and get off the field. We were 2 for 2 on fourth down. They were 0 for 2 on fourth down and some critical downs. And red zone football, same thing. We were able to hold them to field goals, and we were able to get some touchdowns and make our kicks inside the red zone. And so some improvement, some momentum going into a bye, which is great, for the football team. And now we move on to this 4-game stretch, starting with Stanford and home game. Excited to be back home and for the next 2 games, the last 2 home games for us. And our crowd was amazing at the last home game, and would love to have you here in full force for these next 2 final games of the year and bring that energy and help us in our efforts to finish strong. You guys are a factor at home, and these next 2 games need to have that. Gives us the best opportunity to finish strong in a very critical month of the season. Stanford's a tough team. Physically, when you watch the film, they play really hard. They've had 3 different quarterbacks, and they're all athletic guys that can run around. Very impressed with their receiver, number 13. He's one of the better receivers that we've played in our conference. On the defensive side, they have 3 defensive ends that are very identical in build. When you look at 23, 11, and 44, they're long, athletic edge players. They scored 2 defensive touchdowns in their Wake Forest game, and present a lot of different things, a lot of zone coverage, but 2 different fronts, even and odd, and some pressures, and they do a nice job mixing it up front and adding different guys in for a 4th, a 5th, 6th rusher. But really focusing on how we can get better and continue to grow with the young guys that we're playing with, particularly on offense, and getting some healthier guys back in the fold. And Brandon Cisse, practiced for us this week so far, and looks like he's ready to return, which is great for our secondary. And just finding those little things, the turnover margin and finishing critical plays. And every football game comes down to 4 or 5 plays, and you just don't know when they're going to happen. And pushing these guys to make those plays in practice, just playing fast and physical and together. As I said, November is a really critical month in college football for all programs. And, you're putting yourself in a position to have postseason play or not. And I love to finish, and I know our players do, and look forward to the opportunity to do so here these next 4 games.